thought we played a great half of basketball. I was very pleased with our effort for the first 20 minutes. Offensively, I thought we played very well. I thought we threw some very careless passes at times, made some poor decisions once we got the ball into the paint. Just needed to be more solid. But overall, I was really pleased with the first half. And then the second half, just like you knew they would, they're going to play just like their coach. They played with great heart in the second half. And I thought they outplayed us probably for the last, they got 2 offensive rebounds to start the half. And then for the majority of the second half, I thought they outplayed us.
Can you talk about establishing Dom early, which you guys did tonight? I mean, and the difference you see in him in victories and you do in losses?
Yeah, and he's been, obviously has played very well for long stretches. I mean, sometimes if a ref calls a foul on him at times, he doesn't always continue to play the way he's taught. But overall, he's just a terrific player. I mean, he can do a lot of different things. I mean, I've seen him do some things in the last couple of games that I didn't know he could do. He's taking the ball from the perimeter and making reverse layups on 2 guys. He's banging jumpers. He's throwing he's just a very good all-around player.
But that's something really you can see early on. I mean, this is like a mentality that he needs.
Yeah, I think what has happened with Dom is that he's kind of developed and matured. I thought last year he showed some signs, but it wasn't consistent at all. And this year he started slowly, but now he's just in a really good place. He's really bought in. He had an unbelievable off-season with his nutrition and changed his diet, and so he's moving a lot better than he did last year. And he's played like an all-league player. He really has. He's been terrific.
Dom, is some of it kind of that extra gear in the engine, kind of finding that this year?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt that he's able to play harder longer. Last year, he could probably play 24 minutes at the pace, and now he's up to, he's 30 minutes. He can play 30 hard minutes. But it's just been, I've really enjoyed coaching him because he's really locked in. He's really coachable. You can tell, he's just bought in, because he's having success. He knows what he's being told is the right things, and, it shows in his play. My hat goes off to him. He's been terrific.
You talked about, you played great 20 minutes. The second half of this game, because even Bill said it was on the verge of being a 30-point blowout, and then it winds up being, a 12-point win, and they kind of hung around for a long time. Is this another one of those kind of growing pains with the team still not quite knowing how to put another team away?
Yeah, not as bad as Maine, but still in the same type of, we are a team that can relax. Whether it's part of our personality, where it's just who we are right now. So if we're playing well, we can kind of just take things for granted, and not do things as hard or as technically well as they're capable of doing. And this is a team that's got a huge upside. I mean, this is just starting to develop. And I think when we're playing well, they tend to get cute. They tend to relax. They tend to take the easy way out, and play a little bit more unsolid, and then that's all. It just takes a couple of possessions for another team to get some momentum. They're trying to beat you, man, And so once they get momentum, then you try to play hard. Now, now it's hard, but if you're just consistent and you keep them at bay, it makes it easier for us now to be able to expand on our lead. But we have a hard time doing that. And now, when 2 times now when the league has got to 20, we played our worst basketball at that time. And you would think we could take that next step. So that's the thing now. But you're talking about winning games. You're talking about doing this and you're winning. So you got to enjoy the win, but you also have to help them understand that they're a lot better than this, because they are. They're capable of beating some people by 25 points. They are.
Talk a little bit about, you have a really young team coming in, no seniors really, no scholarship seniors on the roster right now, and for reasons that were completely out of your hand before day one, you guys are told, you can't make the NCAAs this year, and that's what in a small conference teams play for, is that chance.
Sure.
Can you talk about, what it took and how you were able to get them to keep buying in, keep competing, and get to the point where they're playing their best basketball to close out the season, even though they don't have the NCAA tournament?
Well, you would have been amazed, and I said this before. I was amazed by how they handled the summer, because the summer was rough. So now we're not going to be able to go to the tournament, and then Jake leaves. So we got hit by 2 big bombs, and then we got a kid that would have competed for a starting position. He didn't come. So we lost 2 guys that one guy would have been maybe the player of the year, the other guy was going to challenge for a starting job. And so we lost both those guys. And then we were told we couldn't make it to the tournament on top. So it was rough. Those guys handled it great. I mean, there was some disappointment when Jake, but they handled it great. And I got to give all the credit to Dom, DJ, and Travis. Because those guys just handled it great. They were like, all right, we're going to be all right. That's the good thing about this group. They don't get screwed up. They don't get all messed up. They're kind of laid back guys. They handle things pretty well. Even when you're yelling at them, they're usually pretty calm. So they handled it really well. And so for me, going into the season, I haven't had to talk about that a lot. We just been talking about making it to the postseason. That was our whole thing. We wanted to win the league, and we wanted to make it to the postseason. You know, now with 3 games to go, we're still in striking distance to win the league. And hopefully, if we can finish strong, we're going to make a postseason turn if we can finish the right way. And those were our goals. So we're close to meeting those goals, and we'll see what happens now in the next week or so. But it's up. It was the juniors that have really done this. I've had to do very little in that sense.
Did you see a bigger focus when conference play did start?
Yeah, I thought when we started conference play, we got a little tight. And I thought we got tight because it was almost like we had to win every game, because the only way that we were going to do anything is we won the league. And I thought down the stretch of games, we played tight. We didn't play loose. And we hadn't done that all year. We got up to Maine, we turned the ball over for our last 5 possessions of the game. We hadn't done that all year. Even in big games against George Mason, Rutgers, Harvard, we made plays late. We diagrammed stuff. They were able to execute it. And I thought we were a little tight in that game. And then the Hartford game, the same thing. I just thought we played tight down the stretch. And then that Vermont game just turned the league season around in terms of losing Nate and Travis in the game and winning the game at home against one of the best teams in the league was enormous. And I think from that point on, we've kind of taken a step. And we've had some ups and downs, but for the most part, that's where we've been.
Can you talk about the 2 guards? I mean, it seems like you got to talk about them every game.
No,
but their job on the offensive
we should
glass.
be talking about them.
Yeah.
Because you're lucky to be coaching both these guys. I'm lucky to be coaching these guys. They're terrific. Yeah. They're terrific. And when I was at Villanova, we had Randy Ford, we had Alan Ray. I mean, we had some terrific guards at that level. These 2 guys are in that mold in the sense that they can just wreak havoc on both ends of the floor. And now that they're rebounding the way they are, I mean, it takes us to a whole other level. But both guys are unselfish. Both guys are disciplined. Both guys are good people. They're loved by their teammates. It's a terrific situation, and they really like each other. Like, I go to the women's game yesterday. There's no one else on the team at the game except for those 2 guys. When you got that, you're fortunate. And I've been talking to them about how fortunate we all are to be kind of working together. Because there's not a coach on the staff that's not a great guy, and there's not a kid on the team that's not a great guy, and that's rare. We just don't have a lot of the issues other teams have with people being stubborn or people being selfish. We just don't have that, and a lot because you got 2 guys that would do anything for their teammates. It's been terrific, and I think they're just going to get better and better.
Do you see that have a trickle effect with the rebounding with Dom and other big guys?
No doubt. I think DJ rebounding has helped Mo go get rebounds, because we've been talking about DJ. DJ's been unbelievable on the glass, and Mo sees that, and then he wants to be in there too. It's been great, but that's when you're good, it's because your better players are doing it.